Have you ever seen TV shows that give you a glimpse of the inner workings of a corporation and you think to yourself, man, that's messed up? The fact of the matter is, every business needs to protect itself, and every corporation out there has a team in place to keep their industrial noses clean, cover up the ugly, and continue business as usual. The NFL is no exception. You ever notice why your love of the game is so strong? Why you don't question your loyalty to the product? Why you're glued to the TV on Sundays like a toddler with an iPad in their lap? Because the NFL is manipulating you. On-field manipulation. There are two ways the NFL manipulates the on-field product, and that's through officiating and the rules. Every year, new rules are introduced with various intents, but the theme lately has been to increase player safety and increase scoring. Yes, fundamentally, the game of football hasn't changed much since the 50s. The gridiron is still the same, but how it's played now and the lack of violence, yeah, it's not the same as the past. Rule changes are submitted through the NFL's competition committee, which is a cohort of both executives, coaches, and owners. They draft new legislation, and then the owners ultimately vote on what gets implemented. And 75%, 24 out of 32 clubs, need to approve. What you can see often is one team submitting a rule in a self-serving nature, like the Saints with challengeable pass interference, or the Jets trying to make a rule banning bad luck. That didn't happen. Once a rule is approved, like a new kickoff or the banned hip drop tackle, the on-field product is then shaped through the refs. And many seasons, that manipulation is done on rules that are already on the books. If the league wants more scoring, pass interference is gonna get called more often. You kind of know how a season is gonna go if you pay attention in the preseason. And don't think for a second that the refs aren't taking direct orders from on high. Now, I will say this manipulation has largely been positive. As hard as this is to admit, the game is safer than it ever has been. But as many get off my lawn fans will contend, the game just ain't what it used to be.
Who's laughing now? Shut up!
Hiding the ugly parts. So we covered on how the on-field product is shaped, but let's look at how the NFL very smartly controls and covers up the bad parts of the league. Do you remember when Bears defensive coordinator Alan Williams suddenly resigned 2 weeks into the 2023 season after allegedly the FBI raided his house? No, I barely do, as when I googled fired Bears coach, the story wasn't even on the first page of results. We still don't know what happened there, and we never will. Why? Because in that same week, Taylor Swift started showing up at games to watch Travis Kelce. Story gone. Did you know that whole cheerleading scandal and sexual assault lawsuit with Dan Snyder has been settled and over with? Used as a major negative towards Snyder and forcing him to sell the team. Once the sale was complete to new Commanders owner Josh Harris, the story disappeared. It was all buried in the final bill of sale. What's a couple million out of 6 billion? Checks get written, headlines vanish, and new ones emerge. And everyone still has a price. Commanders fans were so excited to ditch the Wicked Witch that they could put their pitchforks down and now hate Sam Howell instead of their former owner, who's probably Willie sad now, I said Willie, in his palatial estate now that he can't fuck up his precious team anymore. Now look, I'm not hating on this process. The NFL is very adept at putting cream on their warts. Well, until video surfaces. The Ray Rice incident just goes to show you that the league can't control the narrative completely, but they can try. I'll circle back to this later. Manipulation through highlights? Another way the NFL manipulates you is actually extremely clever and subtle, and many of you don't even notice it. If you're on YouTube, there is a good chance you found my channel because you came here looking for NFL highlights of your favorite team. I doubt anyone is coming specifically to YouTube to watch stadium critiques and a bald man overreact to draft picks. You came here for Tommy Cutlets and Lamar Jackson. And in those highlights is a subtle control of the product and the narrative. If you watch the full games on Sunday, sometimes things happen that make the NFL look pretty bad. Devastating injuries, really bad calls, sideline arguments, and some really funny things that get caught on the hot mic, which are hilarious. Now, you wouldn't see these moments in the curated highlights, and if it weren't for people like Highlight Heaven with ready-to-go screen capture technology, you might never be able to replay sometimes scary but often hilarious clips of the league.
Try to secure that football as he runs.
That's not fucking holding.
That's going to be a hold.
Fucking shit.
And even then, those clips get blocked and removed. In an 8-minute official highlight reel from the NFL, huge pivotal plays or moments from the game will be omitted because, well, duh, it makes the league look bad to spotlight a mistake. Rarely does the league get called out on it. I mean, nobody really does. I mean, I'm doing it now, but nobody notices. It's a lot easier to show Taylor Swift and her hot friends in the skybox versus the refs repeatedly missing false starts. Manipulation through an olive branch. And finally, let me bring this full circle. The NFL can manipulate you through monitoring and engaging with every outlet that could possibly be critical of them. And I'm talking about the one you are watching right now. The league has started to slowly and carefully recognize how many eyeballs are on their product via social media. Initially oblivious to YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, the league is now acutely aware of where loud chatter comes from. And of course, they would be smart to do the same thing they do with big media, as with the little guys. Literally little guys like Brandon Perna. Pat McAfee might not have been the first YouTuber to talk about the NFL and leverage insane influence on the platform, but he damn sure put it on the map and paved the way for many creators to be friends with the league, not enemies. And yes, he's still largely unfiltered and authentic, but as he himself has mentioned, strings get pulled, even on him. I'll be blunt. The friendlier a league gets with the creator, the less likely they are to trade that friendship just to take pot shots at the league. And yeah, I am less likely now to take pot shots at a league who is friendly at me. I guarantee you this, the NFL knows who your favorite NFL YouTuber is.
Let's go, baby.
They know who Urinating Tree is. They know who Brandon Perna is, Chiseled Adonis, KTO, Flemlo, JG9. How about them Chiefs, Brett Coleman, Flight Mike? I could go on and on forever. And if you're one of my friends and I forgot to mention you, I'm sorry. Look at how many creators and influencers have announced draft picks over the years. It's both amazing and manipulative at the same time. And I'll be flat honest, if they want to cozy up with me, videos like this will probably disappear. Shit, I'll delete it right now for fucking Super Bowl tickets. I'll suck a dick, I don't care. And at the end of the day, any good brand watches out for themselves. And I'm not any different. Y'all know where to reach me. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you've been manipulated.